All right, let's lock in, baby.
Lock in.
Man, I'm excited. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame lounge. Yes, sir. We are live from the Toyota Lounge, room by your front range soda stores. To the official vehicle of DNVR, here for Nuggets, Knicks, Nuggets takeover night. Aaron Gordon back. Feeling good, man. I'm feeling hyped. We got a packed show today. We got game notes. We're going to go over some hangover takes from the Lakers game. Talk about AG's return and our best bets for the evening. I'm Harrison Wynn. I got Brendan Vogt with me.
What's up, fellas? It was 70 degrees yesterday. I was in the park getting some sun.
Yeah.
And it is snowing very hard right now. So
Yeah.
Shout out Colorado.
Also got D-Line in the house.
That's right, Vote. You fell for it. Everyone falls for it every year. It's called fake spring.
Yeah.
Got you, sucker.
Yeah.
We're
Gets
still
you
in
every
winter.
year. Yeah, gets you every time.
Every time. And guess what, though? This is good, man. This is a we need the moisture
Yes.
situation.
We do.
And
Okay.
not only that, it's not only we need the moisture, it's frozen, so it sticks around longer, slowly seeps into the grass. Vibes are back. Everything's going to grow. It's going to be a beautiful spring, and no, it's not spring yet.
This is one day where you can kind of feel the vibes
Dude,
percolating.
I'm like vibrating with vibes
Yeah.
because Nazem Kadri came back.
I was gonna say.
Aaron Gordon's coming back.
Yeah.
This is actually a renewal. This is a washing of the sins.
Yeah.
And we are entering what I'm calling the actual season.
Okay, yes. We were talking in the chat earlier today, like, is this the first game of the actual
Yes.
season?
Yes.
The Knicks are in town. Nuggets, of course, coming off that Lakers win. Aaron Gordon is questionable, I saw a vote. Questionable for tonight. It seems like he is playing, though.
Aaron Gordon is questionable, likely to play. Obviously, Sam Amick of The Athletic put that out there a few days ago. It's been trending that way. He warmed up last night before the game. No visible brace, no visible wrap. He was moving really well. And we know how this goes with the Nuggets. Typically, you've been out for a while, you're upgraded to questionable. They're going to be a game time decision. They're going to go through their routine. And if it's all systems go, they will play. So, yes, we expect Aaron Gordon to play. And you can probably apply that same logic, guys, to Spencer Jones, who is questionable with that right shoulder strain. And that is also an upgrade. Obviously, he was out. Cam Johnson, I'm less sure about. He's questionable with that right ankle inflammation, which I just think is a questionable situation altogether.
A lot of questions.
I don't know exactly what the situation is. He also warmed up last night, looked pretty good. No visible brace, no visible wrap, was moving pretty well. Opted not to play. We'll see if that was all in preparation so that he would go tonight against the New York Knicks. Obviously, Peyton Watson is still out. For the Knicks, Josh Hart is questionable with a lower back
Got a heart off.
issue. Miles McBride is Miles McBride. Last I saw, has actually been ruled out with this
You got a deuce
Nice.
return. He had a core muscle
drop the
surgery.
deuce.
It says pelvic here, pelvic in nature.
Spinal.
And that's it for the New York Knicks. Josh Hart questionable. Miles McBride is out. The Nuggets have some big names, probably, potentially, coming back into the fold.
That, of course, comes to us on our Common Spirit injury report. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you. Discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. So we were at practice 2 days ago.
Correct.
Wednesday. And at the end of practice, Aaron Gordon was going through it wasn't like a very hard workout, but a very pointed workout.
Heart workout.
Sure. A very detailed workout where he was going through all the plays with a lot of coaches. They were pretty much running like 5-on-5 with Aaron Gordon and a bunch of coaches going through the plays, kind of probably installing some stuff for him maybe for this game. So it seems like they've been planning for Aaron Gordon to come back in this game for a bit. D-Line, what do you think the emotional lift is going to be like?
The emotional lift? Forget it. Mr. Nugget on a Friday night when, again, our sins have been washed away by the... and we got our vibes back. We already got our mojo back a little bit last night, but this is like full mojo interjection. We're getting... we're really going for it. It's a big day. Listen, don't be surprised if magically the clutch issues are solved tonight.
Yeah.
We never talk about it again, starting tonight.
I would love nothing more than to never talk about
Don't
the
be
clutch
surprised
issues
if you're like, oh, right, they just sometimes when it gets clogged, they give it to Gordon.
That was the funny thing, last night, Jamal, and it was all in good fun. It wasn't. We're gonna have to prove you guys wrong, I guess. Like, bro, we want to be wrong. Like, we would like to see you guys play very well in the clutch. Yeah. And David Adelman, to your point, Eric, all jokes aside, has been pretty adamant that this all comes. Adelman has been adamant that this all comes down to, not all, but a lot of it. Their spacing, and a lot of that is Aaron Gordon not having him on the floor, an essential part of their half-court operation. So even if he's coming back and you expect him to be a little rusty, have to work his way back, it should at least impact the spacing in a healthy, positive way.
Dude, think about how hyped our Avs friends are for just acquiring Nazem Kadri. We just acquired Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
And Spencer Jones. We made a 2-person trade.
Yep. And
we just brought in Spencer Jones and Aaron Gordon tonight.
Yeah.
They're playing the New York Knicks, who are 40-23, which is last year, their record with Tom Thibodeau. 40-23.
Wow, would you look at that?
They've gotten their
maybe coaches don't make that big of a difference.
Or maybe they do. They've actually gotten
maybe
their
not when you have Jalen
different
Brunson.
ways, though. I actually hopped on Knicks film school yesterday to speak with Andrew Claudio about this, but he was telling me, he's like, look, they got the same record, but they've gotten there differently. They've played more guys.
Yeah.
They played younger guys. So it's been less of a playoff rotation approach to get to the same record. So they feel at least hopeful over there that things will be different this year. The Knicks are 5th in net rating, 6.2. They are 6th in defensive rating, and they have the 3rd best offense in the league so far, trailing only the Boston Celtics and your Denver Nuggets. The Knicks, formidable
Are the
as they
Nuggets
have
not
been.
the number 1 offense anymore?
No, they are.
Okay. Phew. I was going to say.
Nuggets 1, Boston 2.
Okay,
It is very close now. Boston is coming in hot.
Okay.
Nuggets did themselves a favor by holding them to 84 points in Ball Arena.
Well, it should be a tough game. I mean, the Knicks are playing well. Didn't they smoke the Nuggets earlier this season or beat them pretty handedly?
Yes. They do, especially on those road trip games to New York City.
It's because somehow every team goes to New York and just gets this 1:30 matinee game.
Dude, I know. So, big news. The bus is leaving. I got to go.
Right now?
Yeah, apparently. Because if you come to the takeovers, you get to go early, so you get to sit courtside and watch the players all warm up.
Okay, I did not know we were going for warm-ups today.
We're going for. I just found out because Spencer just told us.
Okay, great.
So,
well, it's happening live development.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
well, any final thoughts on the game?
Okay, listen, guys. Everybody, take a knee. Get in here. Hands in. All right. I need everybody to let go of whatever angst they had leading into this game.
Okay.
I need you to stop all of the observations you made about the hobbled version of the Denver Nuggets because it no longer applies. Now we are in what I'm calling the real season. All right. So hands in. All the Nuggets are good on 1, and we're gonna break. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All
break. Nuggets are good.
We're back, baby.
All right. Well, go enjoy the game. We'll stick here, handle the pregame show, and we'll see. Let's shift to some more notes about this game. Spencer Jones coming back. That's a big deal. He's been out these last couple games, been arguably the Nuggets' best pound-for-pound defender most of the season, and now they get him back, in a game where they're going to throw a lot of bodies at Jalen Brunson. They're going to have to, stop a really good Knicks offense. Getting him back is a huge deal, too.
Absolutely, yeah. You go from no power forwards to depth there. You get 2 of your best defenders. In theory, for AG, you're still maybe waiting to see that defensive impact. These are serious injuries he's coming back from.
Yeah.
With Spencer Jones, you expect him to run through a wall like he always does. When he's healthy and he's available, he knows his job. So 2 of your more physical defenders and, 2 guys that can knock down corner threes. This changes Denver's lineup structurally. It changes the geography of the court, both of these guys being out there, and it's going to make Nikola Jokic's life, in theory, Harrison, a lot easier.
Yeah. We can shift over to the hangover now and go over some of our hangover takes from last night's game. Nuggets get a win over the Lakers. It wasn't pretty, but it was a win over, record-wise, statistically, a pretty decent team for at least most of the season so far. Here's a hangover take I had from the game, and you guys probably mentioned this on the post-game show a little bit, but I'm curious your thoughts. Nikola Jokic attempted 1-3 in that game. He attempted 1-3. And I know a lot of his, high three-point attempt games, they come based on the game plan and how the defense is playing him and what Denver needs from him that night. I just thought him taking 1-3 and doing all his work in the paint. Yeah, he had a lot of turnovers as well. We got to cut those down. But attacking the rim, like being aggressive that way, I thought that was just like such a nice change up from how he's approached some of these games since the All-Star break and coming back from this injury. I loved him not taking more than 1 3-point attempt.
Especially when he was just keeping it on those split actions and then choosing to attack. And the Lakers, strangely, at some points down the stretch, went away from the fronting, which always works. But yeah, I mean, credit to you so far, Harrison, on this. You've pushed back on, Adam and I were speaking as if we really understood Jokic's approach, try to launch these threes against how defenses pack the paint. You felt like if it gets that high volume, are we sure it's still a good look? Or can he find better ones? At least in this game, as you pointed out, that's how it shook out. So I really liked seeing him just get to the rim in crunch time, and it just felt like watching Jokic in the clutch again.
And look, part of that was because they were probably playing the Lakers, a bad defense. Another hangover take, the Lakers are bad. They're a bad team. They're a fake, quote-unquote, contender. I think that'd be a 4-0 Nugget sweep if they played in the playoffs. Easily. That was another big takeaway from last night. So maybe that had to do with just the Lakers defense, them not being a great defense, them not really knowing how to game plan against Jokic and the Nuggets. So a good defense, a good coach, maybe they do find a way to force Jokic into a couple more threes. Maybe that was the case, but anyways, I liked his approach.
It was still great to see. It was refreshing, and it had been a minute.
Did you have any other hangover takes, or what else are you thinking about heading into this game tonight against the Knicks?
I almost got the sense last night, it felt like the whole group knew that Aaron Gordon was coming back. So you guys were joking the season starts now. There was a little bit of that they were, they played great half-court defense last night, Harrison. 26 of Los Angeles' 113 points came off of turnovers. That's obviously a bad thing, but it also shows you that the half-court defense really did its job. And for the most part, when the Nuggets needed stops, they got stops. And they spoke a lot about their defense after the game. That's the story that I wrote on the DNVR.com right now. But they really think the defense has been trending in the right direction since the All-Star break. And if you can close your eyes and forget about that Warriors game, they're right.
Yeah. I've definitely got my eye on, what's Jokic's approach tonight? Is it similar to that one against the Lakers? Does he live behind the three-point arc a little more tonight? The Knicks defense better than the Lakers for sure. So we'll see what kind of game plan they have on him. Who guards Jalen Brunson, and how effective are the Nuggets in guarding Jalen Brunson? You got to think Christian Brown's going to get that first matchup on him. How much time does Spencer Jones stay on him? He's probably their next best defender. And Jalen Brunson's had an amazing season, obviously. He's been their leader. So can they lock him down? Can they defend him?
Yeah, with Spencer, I think concern would be Jalen Brunson's ability to manipulate physical, aggressive defense.
You got to stay out of foul trouble for sure.
And I honestly generally like Spencer's approach. I think Spencer fouls a lot because he plays real defense.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually played out in him getting a better whistle as the year goes on. Having said that, I still think it's a rough matchup with that dynamic. Not that Spencer can't do it, but you worry about the fouls. It's a nice test for Christian. And
for sure.
Really curious to see how he handles it. It's less about, Brunson's burst and quickness and more about his ability to lock you up and how methodical and crafty he is. It'd be really cool to see a physical, capable performance from Christian Brown defensively. And I think he's been trending in the right direction in a lot of categories. So if you see a statement game from him defensively, I think you're feeling really good about where Christian Brown's at.
David Adelman had that quote after the game last night where he was just kind of blown away by Christian Brown's conditioning and how he never really gets tired. Second night of back-to-back. After he played a ton last night, he might have to play 40-plus minutes again tonight.
Well, he got a nice 6-week break there in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
More than that, actually.
So we can move on here to our third topic. Aaron Gordon coming back in this game. And it really does feel like the beginning of definitely a next chapter in this Nuggets season. But this also, to me, feels like the beginning of the Nuggets playoff push, the beginning of their stretch run, the beginning of, okay, let's lock in and see who this team really is. I believe the Nuggets haven't had their opening night starting five together since November 12th.
Oh my goodness.
Is that correct? I was trying to look this up before we went live. November 12th against the Clippers. That was the 11th game of the season. The Nuggets started Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic.
And that's when Christian got hurt, right?
Christian Brown got hurt the next game.
That's it then.
So I think that's it. November 12th, the 11th game of the season.
Dude, it's March 6th.
Do you know how different the world was on November 12th?
It's unbelievable. First of all, I actually am having a little bit of an existential crisis on how quickly that time passed. I can't believe it's March. But yeah, man, they have it really, that stat better than any puts into perspective the kind of season they've had.
At that point in the season, the Nuggets were 9-2. They had beaten the Clippers that game, 130-116. They had won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row.
They had a good defense, right? They were like top 10 defensive rating.
They then won against the Timberwolves the next night to push that winning streak to 7 games. They, of course, did not win 10 in a row. We know that. But they were, riding a winning streak there. They had, a really good defense statistically, although I think there's a lot of noise in those numbers. Because if you remember, they blew out New Orleans by like 40. That kind of jaded those numbers a little. But they actually were playing good defense. So it does really seem like this is the beginning of a new chapter and the real ramp up to the playoffs. I think is going to give the Nuggets a huge emotional boost. And like we were saying earlier, maybe some of the problems that have been plaguing this team all season just go away. Maybe they're all of a sudden with the flip of a switch way more capable defensively. Maybe all of a sudden with the flip of a switch they're way better in the clutch. That seems like it could be on the table.
It does, or at least that's what's on the other side of the other end of a tunnel here. I mean, they have tried to caution us about guys coming back and not looking like the best versions of themselves. Christian Brown obviously did that most recently, and Jamal said last night, when AG gets back, he's going to struggle. When Spencer gets back, he's going to struggle. When Peyton gets back, he's going to struggle. Mark that down now. So there will be some adjustment period. But yeah, man, I think once by the time you feel like there's a healthy and integrated Aaron Gordon out there, it's not a hot take. The Nuggets didn't become contenders until they acquired Aaron Gordon in a trade. He is essential to what they're trying to do on both ends of the ball. So, yeah, man, Aaron Gordon coming back is the biggest news possible for this team at this point in the season.
Now, I had heard that Aaron Gordon has wanted to come back for a while. I think for the last couple of weeks, he's really wanted to be back out there. And the Nuggets have tried to be as cautious as possible because they obviously don't want him to re-injure that hamstring like he did the first time coming back, playing on that back-to-back. They obviously want to make sure he's good. And I think he is. He's been out a while, definitely been out for as long as the timetable suggested he would. And I think the Nuggets have tried to take as cautious of approach as they can. I mean, we're at the point in the season now with how many games left? 19? There's just not that many games. You got to think he's not going to play on back-to-backs. You got to think they're really going to try to keep his minutes down from here until the playoffs and just keep him healthy because he is the biggest question mark. He is the biggest tipping point, I feel like, in terms of the Nuggets going from the team they've been most of the season to championship contender.
They need him.
Yeah.
Because the Thunder are formidable, the Spurs are formidable. The Nuggets can get back to playing competitive basketball without Aaron Gordon in theory. I don't think they can win a title or be the best versions of themselves without him. So they need them. They need him. And I just expect that there's going to be an emotional kind of jolt to this as well in terms of, all right, we can be ourselves again. We can play Nuggets basketball again. Let's get excited to come to work again.
I don't know if the Nuggets are starting him at the time of this recording. I don't know. they might bring him off the bench because that's what they've done recently when he's come back. I almost want them to start him just so Kyle Speller can announce him in the pregame introductions.
I agree.
I almost want that moment to happen tonight at Ball Arena. That's going to be an incredible moment if it does. Just to get the reaction, just to raise the energy in the building. That would be an incredible moment, man.
He already gets arguably the loudest ovations.
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic, of course, is he
And
would
you
be the
got to
other
give
one.
him a Mr. Nugget tonight, Kyle
I
Speller.
think you would.
If that
I
is the
think
case.
you would, and you will hear the biggest crowd pop of the season, I would think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, for sure. But no matter what you do, don't blow through the minutes restrictions this time, right? Let's follow those, I think. Is everyone okay with that?
Do you what do you think about, deploying him starting bench, backup center? Like, how do you think the Nuggets should use him? They'll obviously try to keep his minutes down, I'm sure, in the 20s for a while, especially with a hamstring. A hamstring is the most dangerous injury to injure and then come back from in terms of soft tissue stuff. It just is. How do you want the Nuggets to kind of use him, in different lineups, and if he's playing with Jokic, without Jokic, backup center? How do you want them to deploy him?
I think for now, you make his life easier by playing him mostly with Jokic.
Yeah.
As opposed to overextending him with the second unit, playing backup center, or asking him to carry any lineups. He can maybe just feast off Jokic's gravity in ways we've seen him do many, many times before. The trick is, and Adelman has talked about this, it's whatever makes it easier for them to close with him and without burning through the minutes restriction. Because it's
right.
You have to assume your team's going to be in the game. You have to want him out there if you're in a close game in the fourth quarter. But to get to a close game in the fourth quarter, you also want to play, Aaron. So this is all the stuff that Adelman has to juggle as he tries to get this right. And I do think, at times in February, he struggled with it. In his defense, there was a lot of it to deal with.
Yeah. In other injury news, not Nuggets Knicks related, Jason Tatum's coming back from a torn Achilles.
I saw that
tonight in less than 10 months with no minute restriction, and he's starting.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Honestly, all jokes aside, all the credit in the world to Jason Tatum.
Absolutely,
all
man.
the credit in the world. I mean,
it is crazy.
It's an old school sort of timeline in terms of how quickly he got back. Not necessarily, obviously, we've made great advancements medically with that procedure. He just so clearly attacked that thing from the gate. And I think it started with that night they were able to get him in to, a very prestigious surgeon and get that work done. So they didn't waste any time. He didn't waste any time clearly attacking his rehab. Now that he's healthy, I can hope that he ruins what they have going on, and I can make jokes about it.
I'm just blown away. I am blown away by Jason Tatum coming back this quickly from an Achilles. It's really crazy, but actually a lot of respect to him for it.
For sure.
What else am I watching for tonight? Jamal had a solid game against the Lakers. We'll see what he has on the second night of a back-to-back. Christian Brown continues to look more and more like himself. I just really hope we see Cam Johnson in the starting five tonight. That would be awesome. And, with that, and with Aaron Gordon coming back, hopefully there can become some more bench continuity as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something to watch. You mentioned Cam Johnson. I just think how he plays, if he plays, is worth watching. He spoke with Tim Legler about this earlier today. Tim, who was really high on the Cam edition, is worried. He's worried about this mental confidence element of it. And I got to be honest, man, I'm not trying to pile on, just really do try to call it like I see it. You could see it in the locker room. This guy is or was in a rough place after those two games. How does he respond? Is he ready to be a contributor? And if he hits some big shots against the Knicks as the season starts officially or restarts officially, does he find another wave of confidence? Because I think Cam's low points are important because they're against good teams and marquee matchups.
Yeah.
But it does overshadow. He's been better, I think, than people talk about him to a certain extent. But he has to be better in these big games. So it'd be awesome to see him get it going tonight.
I'm going to fire up the Bet365 app and look at some bets for the night. The Nuggets come into this game as 1-point underdogs. 1-point underdogs, which Based on a lot of the lines we've seen, I feel like is pretty generous. They're on a back-to-back as well. But I think you're probably getting a little Aaron Gordon bump, but probably a little bump of just the Nuggets playing better and looking like themselves again. And also, the Knicks coming into this game in Denver is no easy task either. Where have the Knicks been playing?
I was just about to pull up their.
So they just lost at home to the Thunder, 103-100 in that really tight game. That was on Wednesday. So they're on normal rest, but they are, flying into Denver on the road here. 1 point line is interesting, though. If I'm just throwing out a couple bets in this game, I like Jokic. He's going against Towns. He's going against a good defense, but I don't think a defense that's that equipped to stop him. Yeah, they have Mitchell Robinson, but I think Jokic is in a pretty good groove right now. And I think I like Christian Brown as well in this spot, too. I like the rhythm he's in. I like how many minutes he's been playing. That's another thing, to take away from that last Laker game. David Adelman clearly has his trust in Christian Brown right now to lean on him in these big minutes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He really likes the way that he's playing. As he said, the speed is fully back, played a ton of minutes. And I think that's the sort of ironic part about how we've come to talk about Christian is in so many contexts, he's really shown himself to be a very trustworthy basketball player.
Yeah.
He has some deficiencies that will matter in the Thunder matchup and the Spurs matchup or Detroit matchup, should you get it. And those are worth talking about. Really, they are. But Christian is a better player than he's been talked about this season. He's struggled, I thought, uncharacteristically out of the gate. That injury clearly bothered him, still is to some extent. But he has looked more to me like a guy that you can trust to play smart basketball when Jokic is on the floor.
Yeah. Should be an awesome game tonight. Maybe the first game of this new version of the Nuggets and the first game of this real playoff push. I can't wait for it. I will be live in the watch-along set with Kale watching this game with all you guys. I think Vogt's going to the game along with D-Line, who you guys obviously just saw left and is heading there right now.
That was my ride. Fire up the Lyft app here.
Hit the like button. Leave a comment, and we'll talk to you guys on the watch along.
We all silly like the mayor.